Get your chair. Line up if you're walking on the wall. Jump on your bikes. And start your treadmill. Yeah. Come walk with me. And save you too. Okay. Purposeful. You're walking for a purpose. You're exercising for a purpose. Now when we were young, stay fit, curvy, get into those dresses. But as we get older, this little half hour is like a miracle walk. It takes care of your waistline, help you keep your feet and everything. Come on, y'all. I said finger snapping, but I started clapping. You hear all this music that Ron's giving? Ron's giving all that music behind me. This is my song. I get so upset when I see they strike my videos. Yeah. But Ron told me they was going to do that. Hey, let's get ready, y'all. Yes. Because if I start walking now, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. I never did lie to myself. Hey, y'all. Hey. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share, tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend, subscribe, y'all. Now, I know. Oh, did I say like, comment, subscribe? Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm going to get to the 90-day fiance, but I want to tell y'all something. I can't go into all the details. But I'm so grateful, especially in my DNA group, that when a DNA dies, anybody from the DNA cell dies off, they say, rest in peace. And I say, come on over here. I need the energy. I love the energy. I always loved you when you had matter surrounding you. Now that your matter is no longer here, that's the matter that's going. Your energy, come on over here. I need some protection. Now, I know y'all think that blonde-haired, blue-eyed person in sandal does it. But anyway, so we go to get check on my daughter's car to get our stuff out of the trunk. And we're told we can't get anything. Okay, what happened was, she was literally at a stoplight. And then she looked down and this water started coming up from the bottom of the car. And the first thing she did was switch the engine off. Okay. So, we're at that afternoon, we're going to get the car and get our stuff from the car. And the man's like, no, you can't take anything from the car, you have to pay for the car, we have to see to the insurance, get it, and we'll have to talk insurance another time, okay? We have to talk insurance another time, because we ain't never had no insurance. And we got along just fine. And though you paying for insurance now, you really don't got no insurance. Anyway, so we go to get the car, and they tell her that she can't take anything from the car. The car has to stay there, and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, I can hear just as clear. Y'all heard me mention my friend Irma. In a little Louisiana voice. I said, Vicki, don't y'all have a parking space in front of the house? And some parking space in the back of the house? And ain't y'all got a garage? And I noticed one back. I was like, oh. And she said, well, get the car home. And I just looked at my daughter and I said, Dave, we got plenty of places to store that car. Ain't no reason for that car to stay here. Honey, we paid for the car and then look, the man was hot. He was angry. He wanted the car to stay in the garage so all of the water can sit in it for a few days. And then they can bang it up and bang it up and bung it up so they can get money from the insurance company. They don't give a shit about us. And the insurance company will give them money. And our premiums go up and we'll pay them. You see the bullshit? Anyway. The car comes home, and he's so mad, we decided to put it in the front of the house because it was a flatbed and it wouldn't make it down the driveway. So we asked him if he could angle it up so the car could be in the front of the house because the fireman disconnected the battery. So because he wasn't getting his money, I could only put it here, at least 3 feet from the sidewalk. I said, okay. I've seen y'all do, okay, anyway. So, I called the patty rollers here, and I said, listen, I told the situation. I said, the car is about 3 feet from the sidewalk. We don't have any problems because we can't get a tow truck because it's Friday night. We couldn't get a tow truck or anything to help us move the car until Saturday. We couldn't do anything. And she said, can cars get around? I said, yeah. She said, you're fine. Sister girl, I always feel so relieved. Even if they're nasty, I still feel relieved. And so the man, he's hot. He didn't get his money. But Leslie is telling me, my daughter, she's telling me about the situation. And she said, as soon as the water started coming up, I just turned off the car, Mommy. And I smiled to myself. And in my heart I said, thank you, Uncle Johnny. He a bus driver. He know about electronics. He knew to turn that car off, not let it run in that water. When that water started, she said, Mommy, when I looked down and saw that water coming out, she said, just turn off the car. So I was calm on Friday when I look back at the video. I just, sometimes people think when you're calm that you don't care. But I don't dabble in that blonde hair, blue-eyed shit. I don't do it. My Uncle Johnny was always kind and loving towards me. I mean, we ain't never sat down and had no talk or nothing like that. Just crossed paths. But when we crossed paths, he was always kind. He worked. His mother was proud of him. The family was proud of him, like all the family. So while y'all take his energy and push it away, be putting that receptacle with blonde hair, blue eyes, I said, come here. We need you. And it's stuff like that. And Irma, I don't know if Irma's family thinks about her, but I think of her often. And I tell you right now, I heard her just as good that Louisiana voice. Vicki, ain't y'all got space in the front of the house? And in the back of the house? And ain't y'all got a garage? So, everything worked out. The car came home. We found the best mechanic in the world, a Haitian brother, mobile mechanic. That's what I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you, he's a certified mobile mechanic. He got his shit. Okay? A Haitian brother. So he came because we had to leave the windows down because the 911 operator told her put the windows down, open the sunroof, and that's how she climbed up through. But when the fireman disconnected the battery, couldn't put the windows back. And that's how it was supposed to sit in the garage until the insurance worked something out. I love Irma. And I love Uncle Johnny. There's several times, and even my daughter would say, after a while, she said, Mommy, that Uncle Johnny made me turn off that car so fast. I was like, yeah. I know y'all think that blonde hair, blue eye, that ain't never drove a car before. I think they had camel and donkeys. Oh, so Gene, that's the mobile mechanic, the young Haitian brother. I put his picture up in my community on YouTube, and he connected the battery for my daughter to put the window up and close the sunroof. Then he said, let's change the oil in case any water got in there. So he went, oil change, gas treatment, and before he did that, he got out his jacks and he tilted the car back so all the water could run. Everything was in there because my daughter wet vac, and honey, we live with a dehumidifier. Let me tell y'all, I'm getting to my 90-day fiance, but let me just tell y'all, this is the second summer we've survived off the dehumidifier. When you take the humidity out this New England air, it is cool. It is cool. So we always had a dehumidifier for the basement. But when my daughter bought air conditioning, she bought an air conditioner with a dehumidifier. And all we use is the dehumidifier. And once that moisture is taken out the air, it's cool. Anyway, I tell you, oh. Anyway, let me get back to my 90-day fiance. Let me start it. No, part 2. So, even in my early 20s, after I left that Southern Baptist cult and that way of life, that enslavement, you know you're labeled born in blood, even a criminal when you hit a southern state. And it was horrible. It was horrible. So by the time I got to Knoxville College and I met my Nigerian guy, I was ready to leave the country. I was saying, save me, please. I didn't even know. I didn't even really know what I know now. Now I'm just kissing myself all over my 20-year-old self saying, you saw it then. You saw exactly then that this was a penal colony, and if you stay here, your life is going to be hard. Not because of nothing you did. Because 600 years ago, yes, hard to believe, but ignorant people are ignorant people. They don't take you and look at you for the person you are. That's what that cult leader Martin Luther King was saying. Look at the character of the person. They can't. It's embedded in everything. For them, anyway. So, when I couldn't go back to college, everybody wanted me to go back to college. No one wanted to help me find a job. And of course, no one was going to give me a dime. So, when my girlfriend Pat introduced me to Addie, who was Nipani Addie, he is a Ghanaian, but at the time he had dumped the boat, and his brother had brought him to Bed-Stuy and put him in a rooming house. Now here's the thing I found out about Africans that come to this country. If they come legally and they go through the process of hate African Americans, don't listen to what they say, they just thieves and lowlives like we told you, you're better than them. That's naturalization and stuff when you come through immigration. And that's what Victor did. His brother George came through the back door. So he was cool. He hadn't gotten the hate African Americans. Or as he called them, black Americans. That's how they say, black Americans. So then Addie, he came through the back door too. So he didn't know, he didn't go through the hate African Americans, or as they say, black Americans. And I'm like, what do we do to you? Anyway. So, ooh, my leg is stiff, y'all. I did a lot of work yesterday and mopped and stuff. Oh, it's almost time for our break. Ooh. Like, comment, share. I don't know. I'm glad that I see this leg is bothering me before I go roller skating today. I just slap a patch on it. Yes. Let's take a break. I figure if I walk out the kink. But I ain't walking out the kink, y'all. I ain't walking out the kink. I think it when I was hanging, and I was like running while I was hanging from my door frame, and I think I may have done something then. Yeah, y'all. Go to iCloud, iTunes, Spotify. You know, give it a play. It can motivate you. Maybe sometimes you don't feel like listening to me, but you're sitting there and you're saying, oh Lord, I done ate so much French fries. Wonder if my heart will ever unclog. Then put on the song. At least you can say, I ain't trying to save my feet and toes, but I'm gonna get some of this lard from out my heart. Cause if I stop walking down, yeah, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. Honey, you better believe it. So, I knew we were experimental with medicine and everything. Even at that young age, I just knew I wanted to get, I didn't want to stay on it. I didn't know it was a penal colony then, but I just didn't want to stay in this misery. I didn't even know what I did. My mother tried saying, well, what did we do to them? They hating us for a 600-year-old grudge, a grudge for a king that they said they kicked out and celebrate every 4th of July. Well, if you kicked his ass out, then why are you hating on us? You don't like him? Our ancestors didn't like him, ruled him for a while. But why are you hating on the descendants? Why are you hating on the descendants? Anyway, so I told you I met Eddie, and I was like, oh, you want to go out and dinner? You want to get some? And he was like, no. And I found out, oh, the whole green card thing. And I was like, man, you ain't got to worry about that no more. I got you. And I did. And when we used to talk, he used to say, you know, his wish is to get a job here and work and go back and forth to this country. And I remember looking at him like 20-year-old with stars in my eyes, and I'm almost batting back tears, and I was like, I want to go to Ghana. Oh, I'll take you. If we have children, We'll go back and forth to Ghana. I didn't know he was Muslim. So, when my daughter was born, he's Muslim. I need to say no more. So when his son was born, he went back to Africa. The son got all the gifts and stuff like that. Honey, I was cussed out and called the welfare bitch because you ain't want to play child support. He became white adjacent. So whenever he was white adjacent with his nurses and his doctors and shit, that's the way he was. But they didn't know him when he was in a ball in a rodent rat infested rooming house in Bed-Stuy. He ain't never told them that history. How he came in on a boat, snuck under. He ain't never tell them that history. How he had a wife that stuck by him and made sure he got his green card and situated. He didn't tell him that. By then, he had his green card. I was a hoe. I was a hoe. Because he came white adjacent. So then, my heart sunk. My heart sunk. And the nasty that he was to me, you'd have thought that I killed his goat. The nasty. Okay? That's why I took a picture. You have to go back about 3 years on my Facebook page where he and I sitting on my photos. And I tell you, okay, there was a photo for Victor, the brother, who came in through naturalization, who couldn't, in his every conversation, we African Americans were some kind of dumb assholes. We were stupid. Slaves, he said. Slaves. You ain't never slaves. Sitting there eating up all our food. So, yeah, I wasn't having a stroke. I was doing an African impersonation. So, Victor, he worked it out too. It was a business deal for him. I married him for love. I married Eddie for love, family, and for us to get the fuck up off this penal colony. But Victor saw it as a win-win. You got this girl here loving you. You better get your green card and kick her to the curb. Look, she's stupid. I was working. He wouldn't have got his green card if I wasn't working. Bitch, what the hell are you talking about? Working since I was 16. No, honey. Victor looked at it as they had hit the lottery. So when we would sit down and talk, and I said, oh, when I didn't take me to Ghana. Now I know how that looked in Victor's face was. He said, oh, yeah, yeah, hey, take you to Ghana. And I laughed right back. The minute, I don't know, he must have smelled the green in the card. He was out. But I didn't let him off that easy. We had a child together. And for my child to be made to be whole in herself, she has to know both sides of the coin that she came from. She has to draw her own conclusions about how she feels about you. I can't do that. So I had to bargain with him that he wouldn't pay child support if he came and got her. This is when she was younger. So he did that for about 2 years. He would come get her once a month on the weekend. so he wouldn't have to pay me any child support. So then we had made an agreement to get out of New York. Hopefully together, but if we couldn't do it together, separate. Whoever left out of New York first would take Leslie. And he and his girlfriend was the first to move. They moved up to Massachusetts. And Leslie was right along with them. And then I was able to get myself together and go to Connecticut. Good enough to track. So I never made it to Ghana. I learned how to cook Ghanaian food. My daughter had an outer ring. But he got what he wanted. But I didn't get nothing. Let me tell y'all. Because I was still under that cult doctrine, I didn't know to go visit Victor in the hospital and spit on him. Today, he died. We went for the funeral. That's what I'm getting Victor. Victor constantly berated me to Addie. Told him that American women are whores. All that kind of stuff. Loose. He used to sit there and talk in his African thing and point at me. And his big belly would be flopping. And they'd all be sitting around the table eating our food. Victor called me a loser. How am I a loser? You didn't even have to use a lawyer for your brother to go through immigration. I filled out the forms. I found a doctor right down the street to get the x-rays. I stood by his side. I went to 26 of the plaza with him. I had a child. How am I the loser? Because I betted on you so I can go to Ghana? And you spit on me? So, then I heard they found Victor on the floor of his Brooklyn apartment. He had a stroke. And he laid in that stroke for 10 years. I tell y'all, stop talking bad about African Americans, even if he is one. I did warn Bill Cosby on Facebook posts when he used to post his sweaters. I used to say, you need to stop talking bad about their youth. It don't work out good for you when you talk bad about us. Ancestors don't like that. Well, we know his situation. Stop it. You lift them up. And when you don't spit on them. I did nothing to any of those brothers. Nothing. But he was here. He was free. Remember, I found him. He was balled up in the room. He had to stay balled up in the room until the paperwork went through. And the minute that paperwork went through, he was up buying clothes, suitcase. I'm like, we need baby money. Martha said we're a little late on the rent. I still got... He said, I'm going to Ghana. I said, but that's expensive. That's... He literally stopped doing anything for me and my daughter because he was going back to Ghana. He bought all the clothes, men, baby. We depended on my DNAs. And He went, had a good time, came back, ain't bring me a earring, pinky ring, toe ring, nose ring, or nail. He didn't bring back a little baby bracelet. Her godmother gave her a little gold baby bracelet. Not him. Her Trinidadian godmother. Not him. Ooh. So when I look at 90 Day Fiance, I said to myself, ooh, I see some of them do they do. Sometimes you do luck out. But not basically with us African Americans. Because once they become white adjacent, everything changes. Everything changes. I don't know, that training class, how to spot a labeled born and blood inmate criminal. Because our long ago ancestors was at war with the crowns of Europe. And they imprisoned us on this penal colony. And though we are the descendants, we did nothing. We don't even know. The original prisoner of war that didn't come straight from England, they got from Africa. Cut off the supply. But we did nothing. And I did a 90 Day Fiance twice. This is my first 90 Day Fiance. I tried to get out the country again. I didn't tell them I had no money. Pay rent, buy a ticket, go to a foreign country, live on the street. Okay? Okay. Let's do 5. Bend your elbow, neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tuck in your elbow, neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, comment, share. We're going to start our gulp and chat segment. Yes! Whew! So, let me get a paper towel. So that was my 90 Day Fiance. And I did try it again. And I did try another one after that. But still, I am on this penal colony. I follow 2 YouTube African, Asian, Chinese families. One from Uganda and the other one from Tanzania. I have to read something because if I lose this reception in YouTube, is it electric or manual? Okay. Oh, if you're talking about I don't even know how to answer that. If you're talking about the treadmill, electric, I just turned the power off. So, yeah. So I tried a few more times, but I was talking about my African. Yeah, I followed African Chinese young girls. And they both went back. Rose to Uganda. And Felisa, we say Felicia, but Felisa, to Tanzania. And I don't know if you can really, when I see them, they have a walk of freedom. They're in such a casual walk, one with the earth, you know. They just walk like they ain't waiting for a patty roller to pull up on them. They ain't waiting for a crazy white person to all of a sudden come after them and attack them. They just stroll. This is my country. This is my country. We gotta walk like this. We gotta walk like this. Then, both of them got sick when they got to Africa, and both of them went to the doctor and they were made well. They were made well. One got pills, another got a shot. And I wanted to cry. If I get sick and go to the hospital, I got cancer. I don't got it. But if I walk into that hospital, heart disease, sugar diabeticals, kidney, everything. COVID. Everything that they can milk, the little bit of Social Security money get, and all they can get out of Medicare. And the ancestors keep saying, and I said, oh, ancestors. 600 years y'all had, well, let's say 400 years y'all had no health insurance at all. Yet here I am. All my friends that I know who visit doctors really, they either got no breastises, no wombsises, mad shooting up insulin, or throwing back them high blood pressure medication like it's the right thing to do, honey. They just strolling there. What's your symptoms? It's something they've seen coming from China over here. She knew what it was to take care of. It wouldn't be that simple. Oh, I have goiter. I have this. That regulates my whole body that loves me. It's just a gland that I need, that the body needs. They've been trying to chop off my gland for years because it doesn't look right to them. So I said to myself, well, according to you, I don't look right either. What, you wanted to skin me too? So when I looked at that, I get so longing. Uganda and Tanzania, just a village, a town. And then Rose was in Uganda and she was talking about her town. She was like, oh, this is my town. And you know, they was going to little shops. And I was like, at least y'all could have a town. When we tried to have a town, they said they were criminal enterprises. They called citizens arrest. They was able to burn it down legally. That's why you ain't getting no reparation. That's why Black Wall Street ain't getting back nothing. Everything they have done as us being criminals. Labeled, born and blood inmate criminals. You don't have to pay them. They pay you. Go to the brick and mortar. And I saw that little town, and she went in there, and they got hair. I seen them go, so. Everybody got the internet. Everybody got solar power, panels and shit, electricity. And everybody got freedoms. Because that's not a penal colony. That's a free country. And they walk around like they free. So from my daughter's incident, she's revitalized out her old car that I used to drive that I didn't want to drive because I didn't want to. Every time I took it to a mechanic, they was like, oh, "That's an old lady. Let me get this Social Security money." Like, oh man, so many people got it. If I didn't live with my daughter, we'd be in shopping cart town. Because ain't nothing there. And it's all payout. Ain't nothing coming in. Especially for this old label, born and blood inmate criminal. Please. They mad they gotta give me health insurance. But I ain't mad because I don't use it. I said give it to me in the money. But they said, oh, black dried up raisin, if you don't have that health insurance on you, something happened to you, they're gonna cut me up until I'm just a nose. Oh. I watched them go in the store. I mean, they're small shops, and other than shopkeepers, I was like, that is so awesome. That is so good. I long for that. Every time I go in one of these stores, I'm like, oh. Excuse me. Ooh, water go down. What comes up? Air, honey. Water go down. Air comes up. Uh-oh. Here's another one. Ooh. Anyway. So, I never got to Africa. He been back and forth to Ghana, back and forth to Ghana, back and forth to Ghana, back and forth to Ghana. And though in some countries they say, oh, that's the lady, that's my first wife who helped me get situated on this penal colony. Because remember, the outside always do better than the inside. Anyway. No, honey. He besmudged my name, besmirched, but I couldn't do that to him because I had his daughter. She looked like him. And listen, there was a lot of good qualities about him. And that's what I focus on. And that's the best qualities of her. So, but he didn't pick that route. So I had to tell my daughter, one time she said, oh, mommy. When she was like 10, she said, mommy, you should hear how they talking about you. I told her, I said, honey, don't worry. Besides that being grown folk stuff that you need to stay out of, I said, don't worry. They got a little attitude or problem with mommy right now. But you stay out of it. Ain't got nothing to do with you. He loves you. And she was like, okay. She never came back and told me another thing. That's grown folk stuff. I don't take sides with children, even in grown folk stuff. Now him, if it was reversed, I never said anything bad about him. But if it was reversed, he couldn't wait to hear it. But he couldn't hear anything come bad about him or his girlfriend that he was with, because I had nothing bad to say about them, because she's a part of them. But just because they didn't feel, because, finally being from Ghana and being here for a while, he got the doctrine. He got the doctrine that black Americans, stupid, black Americans, slave, and that's what he became. And I was like, when your ass was crawled up in a bowl because you just jumped the ship and you thought the INS people was going to come and drag your ass out of here, you love me. You love me. So, Smith hopefully is working out a plan. We can have some kind of payment as a group. We can, I don't know, maybe get a house. I'm trying to envision for like a month, or get a condo in a building where we can stay and go to Ghana and have a good time. And me and the ancestors, we went to Vegas. They had such a good time out there in Vegas. We didn't leave the house, but they was in a state that didn't have us in prison in it. So they was happy there, like free. Like there was like mad imprisonment in the New Englands, the Dutch. So, anyway. So, going to Ghana, I'm taking all their energy with me, because they have been longing to go back, longing to get off this penal colony like I am longing. I think that my longing is their longing. And we were looking at 90 Day Fiance UK, and my daughter said to me, she just turned, she said, dang, this country propaganda machine is working overtime. I said, yeah, child, especially when it comes to the continent of Africa and those African nations. They can't talk bad about them enough. That's why I tell y'all, run them out. Run their cults. Get these Americans out of the country. Get them out. Get them out. They speak nothing good of you. Or us. They still doing fundraisers to send school books over because y'all ain't got none. They ain't got to go to Africa. All they got to go is the hills of fucking Kentucky and Tennessee, and they can see them kids ain't got no books or pencil. What the fuck you acting? You going over there? We gonna take all this stuff to little African village. Take them that shit right up out there to the mountains with them all them duggars and them 25, 50 kids and counting, and them melted out, oxycontin ass out. You need to stay in your country. Go get them white people up there and stop acting. In 1976, when I first went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and we took a walk up in them hills, I didn't know to be scared. They was running up there naked. And before that, at 16, when I was in Charleston, South Carolina, with that girl who came from the hill for psychological something that they had to do against the law, she said, no, we don't wear no panties. Why don't y'all do a fundraiser, get some goddamn panties, and take them up there to the Appalachians and tell them to put it on the goddamn kids so it wouldn't be so much incesting going on. Mind your own business. Stay the fuck out of Africa, because you ain't helping Africa. You're trying to destroy it, just like you're trying to destroy us. Kick them out, Africa, please. Little Appalachian kids running around, teeth all rotted out, can't get nothing, can't get no food. Even if you brought them food, parents use it on drugs. But you running over to save little African children. All these go, where you going? We're going to save the African children. You ain't got to go that far. Save them hillbillies. Go in those hills of Virginia and West Virginia. Anyway, I gotta go, y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share, tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Thanks for the water gulp and chat. I gotta go out here and get in this car. I sure hope them patty rolls don't be getting me. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.